arrived in Durban airport, had a long overnight flight from London, so quite tired, although I did take a couple of sleeping tablets that knocked me out on the journey. We're getting collected shortly now and we're going to go check out the city, so I'm really excited to see what Durban has to offer.
An incredible passion that's existed amongst the people of Durban and this province of KwaZulu-Natal is beginning to be realized. Durban and KwaZulu-Natal have always been significant tourism destinations, but it's largely been from a domestic tourism perspective. The city of Durban has always had the lion's share of domestic tourism, but it's only recently that people have begun to realize what an incredible destination Durban is from an international perspective. The venue that we're sitting in now, I firmly believe, is a clear example of how Durban is revitalizing its image. Landowners are really literally trying to convert what were old buildings into real funky, vibey new meeting venues and hotels. Is a clear indication of this commitment to completely revitalize the city.
The city has got a very clear economic strategy in terms of building its tourism, building its manufacturing base, etc. So we're the second largest manufacturing hub in the country and the third largest commercial centre in the country. But we are the leading domestic tourism destination. So we have a multiple sector approach to growth in our city, and we spent over 8 billion rand outside of the new airport that was built just over the last 5 years. So a very, very proactive city government in terms of actually changing the face of Durban.
We now have a multi-purpose stadium, which we're hoping will ultimately enable the city and the province and the country of South Africa to bid for major events of the like of the Olympic Games. That was really one of the core benefits of the Soccer World Cup, because at long last we had large concentrations of foreign tourists in the city. Up to 40,000 foreign tourists descended on Durban for a typical match day. And it was as a result of that fact that we had that type of media coverage, where journalists were finally being exposed to Durban and were coming up with quirky headlines of the like of "Durban, Durban, where have you been?" which was the line taken by the New York Times. A few years ago, Durban developed a reputation of being a relatively unsafe city. A very good example of the fact of how we were able to deal with that challenge was the fact that over the Soccer World Cup, and as I indicated, on average we had more than 40,000 foreign tourists in the city for a particular match day. And over the entire course of the Soccer World Cup, we did not have one serious incident of crime against a tourist in our city.
It's a great statistic.
And also over the last 3 years, we haven't had a serious incident of crime involving a conference delegate in our city. And I'm sure there are not many cities that can boast of such a reputation.
Less than 30 minutes outside of Durban's busy city centre, I found the perfect tranquil sanctuary that is the Fairmonts and Valley Resort.
Hi Eva, I'm Jan. I heard you were looking for a tour.
Yes, nice to meet you. Thanks for taking me around.
No problem.
Great.
Shall we go? So this is our Marula Ballroom. It's the largest of our conference spaces. It's quite a versatile area, as you can see. It's set up to its full extent here, schoolroom set up with 220 chairs. But if you do an evening ball or a dinner dance, you can take up to 300 people seated around round tables with a stage and a dance floor.
While here, I had to obviously take advantage of the spa and try out a quick little manicure before we go. So as sorry as I am to be leaving this oasis of absolute calmness and tranquility, I think it's time for dinner in the coastlands of Umhlanga. Right next to the Gateway Theatre shopping lies the Coastlands Umhlanga Hotel. Boutique in style but not in size, this hotel has 124 unique rooms to offer every client. The views from what will be the top floor of the conference room are to die for. What a great way to end the day. I'm here at the fabulous Gateway Theatre Shopping. Before we go in and do a little bit ourselves, we're going to go into the one-on-one conference and event centre where we're going to meet Barbara Smith, the general manager, who's going to show us around. Hi Barbara, nice to meet you. Aoife, how are you? The one-on-one offers lovely outdoor space as well as its mid-sized conference facilities. To find out a bit more about this thriving new area of Durban, I met with the GM at a new hotel still under construction in the heart of the Theatre of Shopping area, also known as Umhlanga Ridge. Tell me first of all, why this area? Why the Gateway Theatre of Shopping for this particular property?
You know, most of the business from Durban has moved north and has, you know, is coming into this node in terms of corporate companies. And so with the Gateway Theatre of Shopping, it's a unique opportunity to build a hotel that's linked to the shopping centre, which gives you cinemas, restaurants.
From a group perspective, we want to attract those kind of travellers who are environmentally aware and want to have as little carbon impact on the planet as possible. The iconic screen around the facade is actually a solar shield, absorbing heat outside of the building and therefore reducing your air conditioning load. By reducing air conditioning load, you're using less electricity, and by using less electricity, the power generation facilities produce less emissions.
After such friendly hospitality, I had a quick refreshing drink with Barbara before heading off to the shops I've heard so much about. The Gateway Theatre of Shopping, an absolute shopaholics dream with 2 kilometres and 2 floors full of every single shop you can imagine, with everything from gadgets and souvenirs to furniture shops and clothing. This is the absolute place to come if you have some downtime in Durban. Standing outside the Moses Mabhida Stadium, this truly is a defining landmark to rival any other city. Hosting a myriad of sporting and cultural events with everything from the South Africa versus India cricket to Bollywood actresses and Neil Diamond. They have a cable car that goes in a 220-metre high arch over the stadium, and also something called the Big Swing, which is a 75-metre jump off the top of the stadium, something that I'm going to try out later on today. So this is the presidential suite. Takes up to about 100 people for cocktails, evening receptions. Great option because you've got fantastic views of any cultural or sporting event that's going on in the stadium in Durban at the time. They've even got interactive artwork. Although there was loads to take in here, I really couldn't concentrate on anything other than what I was about to do. Grace, our culture vulture, and I headed off on the long ascent to the top. Getting down would no doubt be quicker. Despite the horror of it all, apparently it's amazing.
3, 1, stop!
Oh my God! Oh, guys, it's incredible! Amazing! Every city has a conference centre, but right here in Durban they have something a little bit special. The ICC is located right in the heart of Durban city centre, with tons of hotels within walking distance and numerous restaurants to choose from. I had the opportunity to take a tour around the ICC in Durban and check out just what they have to offer our conference delegates. Thank you, Judy May, for giving us some of your valuable time out.
That's an absolute pleasure. It's always fantastic to welcome a fellow Irish lady.
We've got that connection already?
Absolutely.
Well, this is a great city. We are just so enjoying being here already. It's so welcoming.
Durban is a fantastic destination. It really is one of those places that is completely unknown. You know, people talk about going off the beaten track, and Durban is one of those fantastic hidden secrets in the world. You know, and we're just so pleased that we're actually able to now start talking about what we've got here. And you've had a couple of experiences already in terms of, you know, the bungee jump in the stadium, and you know, the beachfront and the Shark Marine World. And there's just so many things to do here that people just don't know about. You know,
there is so much, and there's a lot that's unique, and a lot lot of new development that's been happening in Durban that we've really noticed, and that's a great thing that we want to showcase to people, the new development. And I know you, in one of your roles here in the city, are involved a lot in that.
That's right. I mean, as the head of strategic projects unit in the city, we were responsible for any project over 100 million rand, and the city has got a very clear economic strategy.
And you have a new role, which is really exciting here in the city. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing now here.
Well, I was asked by the board and the city manager to basically head up as the CEO of the International Convention Centre, and it's a fantastic opportunity for me, and I think it's really something that's really close to my heart, because it's one of those key assets within the city that can really change the face of the city and contribute significantly to the growth. I mean, the meetings industry, the conference exhibitions industry is something that has got significant opportunity for future growth, and particularly here in Africa. You know, I think we're often forgotten as a meetings destination and an exhibition destination. So we believe that we've got one of the best convention centres in the world. We have been Africa's leading conference centre for the last 9 years, and we're very pleased about that. You know, I think that it's part of my job is now to build on that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I think we're going to take a little walk around as well.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So this is one of the main areas in the ICC.
This is one of the main, yes, that's correct.
Fantastic. And the seating over here, this is the rack seating we were talking about that can lower and come back up again?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
it takes about an hour to do that.
Okay.
On this side, we've 840 actually, and 1,680 altogether.
So when we have all of these operable walls moved back, what kind of numbers are we talking about for the whole space?
For the entire space, from 1 to 6, we're looking at about, we can easily accommodate 4,000 pax seating. Sitting down on like a banquet. Okay. You're looking, of course, at a lot more once we start doing theatre-style setups and that sort of thing.
Thank you. Walking through the convention centre, it quickly becomes apparent the vast size of this place. A workout in itself.
We sort of enter into the arena side now. This is where we host all our concerts.
I had the opportunity to walk around the arena and experience their stunning VIP centre. So this is where you can enjoy the roar of the crowd from your VIP suite.
Absolutely, and normally what we do is we set up an entire bar and catering here, and we have our VIPs sitting here and enjoying the show.
This is where you can bop to Akon and Kelly Clarkson and do your little dance moves. The great thing about these underground tunnels is that delegates never need to see food service going by. Oh, I love this when you can get a bit of the activity that's going on in the background. Wow, look how many
stores and equipment stores, obviously vast areas of equipment.
How many bowls you have. And the best thing about this is that you can have your delegates, if you book a conference here, come down and just experience this and the bustling and the activity underground. After that in-depth tour, the ICC definitely gets a thumbs up from me. So we just finished off a great couple of days in Durban, an absolutely fantastic city, and we're moving on now. Before we go, to summarise where we've been on this journey so far, we started off in Dublin, flew to London, from London all the way down to Johannesburg and straight to Durban. And now we're going back from Durban Airport back up to Joburg. It's Fashion Week there apparently, so a lot of exciting things to do. Really looking forward to spending a couple of days there.
Remember when every journey was an adventure? The world was a playground and you made the rules. A world full of treasures and magical moments, where everything was new and nothing was impossible. Remember when flying was easy? South African Airways brings the world to Africa and takes Africa to the world.